BBC News School Report. I'm Trayvon.
And I'm Lisa.
Coming up, we have updates of the aircraft MH370.
And fears of people.
What's new with the celebrities?
Sports, weather, plus the latest news from Gloucester Academy.
But now over to our expert on the missing aircraft MH370, Emmanuel. Here he is. We're going to ask you a few questions, if that'll be alright.
Welcome, Emmanuel. What are the latest developments on the search of the aircraft?
Well, I've received reports that Thailand's Space Technology Development Agency has sent people pictures about where the aircraft is, and it's about 300 objects around the area where MH370 may have crashed. And so it may help us find the aircraft, which it can help us discover whether there are people still alive out there. However, it will take time for them to find it. But I don't think people will still give up any hope of whether to see whether there are people actually alive.
Okay, I've got a question for you, Emmanuel. There has been previous reports of sightings of the debris, but what can you tell us on this?
Well, I'm not 100% sure about it, since I haven't really received anything about it. However, I can say that people, they still need to do a bit more analysis of the things they find around it, and after we have a complete analysis of all the objects, they'll be able to determine whether it's the plane or not, and whether they found any people stranded in a nearby area.
Do you think that people have given up hope?
No, not completely, because I think that people aren't completely convinced that there are no survivors, because they haven't found the plane yet. They've only found sightings of where it might be, so that will give me reason to believe that they are not 100% convinced.
Okay, thank you for your time, Emmanuel. On to our next story.
Results of the YouGov survey has been released today, revealing the most common phobias in the UK. These include fears of heights, clowns, mice and flying. We have conducted our own survey in the Gloucester Academy and found that the most common phobia among the students and staff is a fear of spiders, followed closely by a fear of public speaking. Some people have mentioned they even fear baked beans.
Now on to our next topic of celebrities. Over to Anya and
Coming up on
Layla.
the entertainment news are details about the sensational Queen Bee visiting Amsterdam. Also rumours about Simon Cowell asking Rihanna to be the fourth judge on the X Factor.
The stunning Beyoncé visited Amsterdam last Wednesday with husband Jay-Z. During her time in Amsterdam, she took time off her Mrs. Carter European tour and spent a few hours in the Anne Frank house. The Anne Frank spokesperson said that they both revealed that they were both very impressed by their visit.
When Justin Bieber visited last year, it caused such a media furore. Also, it actually resulted in thousands of young people wanting to know more about Anne Frank and her tragic story.
I actually personally think that the same thing could potentially happen with Beyoncé.
Definitely.
She's a huge star and a lot of young girls look up to her, and even young boys as well.
Have you heard that Simon Cowell has allegedly been pestering Rihanna about becoming a fourth judge on X Factor? The new dad and Rihanna apparently met, and Rihanna made quite an entrance at Heathrow and was mobbed by loads of fans. We shall see if she is.
Oh, wow. That's everything on the entertainment section. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you, Anya and Layla. And now over to Quinn and Jordan.
Good morning, Miss Mitchell. Quinn, got a few questions to ask you. Do you think the way you're deciding for life is a good idea?
For life? I wasn't even aware that you decided for life. Is that a new thing that's recently happened? Yeah. I don't think his signing for life is a good idea in case he gets injured. He's still going to be on their books, and it's going to be a huge amount of pay just to keep him there. Yeah, and all sorts can happen. He might fall out with his teammates. He could fall out with the manager. However, I do think he's a very good player. So, but overall, not a brilliant idea.
Do you think it would be controversial if Celtic joined the English Premier League after they recently won the Scottish Premier League with 7 games left and 26 points ahead?
I think it would be controversial. I think it could be a good thing for Celtic. I think Celtic would probably make more money. They'd play more games, wouldn't they? Because there's a lot more teams. down to the shed, so I can't wait for next year. There's another signing. Is it a New Zealander called Boa?
Prout.
Yeah. So I'm really hoping that these new signings.
Good morning, Mr. Prout. We've got a few questions here to do with sports. First one's about football. Do you think Wayne Rooney is signing for life?
For Wayne Rooney, it's a very good idea. It means he can demand stupidly high wages. And I think with the way it goes now, let's be honest, if he decides he wants to leave the club, he'll leave the club anyway. Because of the player power. So from his point of view, I think it's good. From Manchester United's point of view, I think it's very naive. Because he's already said 2 or 3 times he wants to leave the club. So for Wayne Rooney, brilliant. For Manchester United, that's something. Fair enough.
Do you think it would be controversial if Celtic joined the English Premier League after they recently won the Scottish Premier League with 7 games left and 26 points ahead of everybody else?
I think it would be wrong for Celtic to come straight to the Premier League. I don't think that would be fair on the English league clubs, the lower league clubs. If they were prepared to start at the bottom, I think it would be fair enough. If you think about the Welsh teams who have joined it, they had to join at the very bottom, and they've obviously worked their way up to the Premier League. Celtic are never going to progress in European standards because they don't play hard enough opposition in their league. So I can understand why they'd want to leave, but if they do, I think they should be made to go into a lower tier.
One question about rugby now. What do you think about Nigel Davis' signings this year, such as Greg Ladle, Scottish international scrum half, and also the British and Irish Lions hooker Richard Hibbard?
Caused a little bit of controversy, isn't it? Because he hasn't signed any English. He hasn't signed many English players. But I think if the club are going to employ a coach from outside of England, then they've got to expect that non-English players are going to be signed. So Nigel Davis has already worked closely with Richie Hibbard. They've just signed a player called Tom Isaacs from the Ospreys. Also that he's worked very closely with. They've just signed a Welsh outside half who he's already worked with. So I think it's good in terms of he knows the players he's signing. However, from a development point of view, Gloucester are a good local club. There may be some English players that feel a little bit disgruntled they're not getting a look in. But Gloucester need European success and they need the best players to do that.
Fair enough. Thank you for letting us introduce that.
Big football news of the day is that Celtic have won the Scottish Premier League. Celtic are currently 26 points ahead with 7 games left. The football faithful are currently talking about Celtic joining the English Premier League. Give us your take on our website, gloucesteracademy.com/sports.
Now time for sports news with me, Quinn.
And me, Jordan.
First of all, it's rugby and Gloucester signings for a better future.
The signings for next season are very interesting and controversial.
The star signing is the Scottish international Greg Ladle, who's played scrum half.
Ladle could be a possible replacement for the departed Freddie Burns.
Other signings to improve Gloucester next season are the All Blacks tight head prop Jonah Foer from Ulster, Richard Hibbard, the British and Irish Lions star player and hooker, finally Tom Isaacs, a Welsh centre.
These 3 players, Jonah Foer, Richard Hibbard and Tom Isaacs, will bolster Gloucester's failing. Here at Gloucester Academy, we take sport seriously. Also, our schoolwork is serious. We'd like to know how they manage sport life and school life at the same time. Which sport would you put first?
Rugby's overall the best out of all of them.
Do you enjoy rugby?
Yeah, very much.
It's got to be very, very physical.
Yeah, it is actually. Most nights I'm in pain, stiff.
How often do you play rugby?
I play 4 or 5 nights a week, and then the rest of the 2 nights I train, like gym, etc.
Do you think your school life is important?
Yeah, my school life's the most important thing out of everything, to be honest.
Which one would you put first?
School life. Because if I get an injury during rugby, I always got a backup plan there.
Thank you very much.
Problem.
What sport do you do?
Kickboxing.
Do you enjoy kickboxing?
Yeah.
How regularly do you do kickboxing?
3 hours a night.
That's got to be very tough for you.
Yeah. It hurts and stuff.
What do you think about school?
It's alright, I suppose.
Which one would you put first?
I would put school first because kickboxing isn't a big sport and not many people would get paid for it and you wouldn't get paid a lot. So if I want a better future, I need to go to school.
So you would just keep kickboxing as your hobby?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Cut.
Thanks for watching, and that was the BBC News Sport Report at Gloucester Academy.